I'm restocking shelves at a pharmacy in Melbourne when this American guy, maybe mid-30s, walks up holding a thermometer box. He looks confused. "Excuse me," he says, "is this broken?" It says the normal temperature is 37 degrees. I glance at it. "Yeah, that's normal body temperature." He shakes his head. No, normal is 98.6. This is way off, I blink. "Mate, that's Celsius." 37 Celsius is 98.6 Fahrenheit. He stares at the box for a solid 10 seconds. Then he just puts it back and walks away without buying anything. Most people stop at stories like this. I track the patterns behind them. If you like understanding why these moments keep happening between cultures, this is the channel built for you. Didn't even say thanks. That same week, I'm grabbing coffee near the Royal Botanic Gardens when I overhear an American woman arguing with the barista. She ordered a latte, and when it arrives in a proper glass, she goes, "Where's the rest of it? This is like half a cup." The barista, super patient, explains that's a standard latte here. She insists she paid for a large. Thing is, she ordered a regular. She genuinely believes Australian regular sizes are American smalls. She asks to speak to the manager. Then there's the couple I saw at Southern Cross Station trying to buy train tickets. They kept swiping their credit card on the ticket machine, getting frustrated because it wouldn't work. A local bloke finally walks over and shows them you need to use Mikey cards. The husband actually says, "Why don't you guys just accept normal cards like everywhere else?" The local guy just walks away. My co-worker told me about an American student who came into the pharmacy asking for Tylenol. She said we don't carry that brand, but offered paracetamol. The student looked suspicious and asked if it was the real stuff or a generic knockoff. Same exact medicine, different name. She left to find a different pharmacy. But that was just the beginning of a very long summer season. I work the front desk at a hotel in Prague. February evening, cold enough to see your breath. This American businessman checks in, maybe 45, nice suit, rolling one of those expensive carry-ons. Everything's fine until he asks about breakfast. I tell him it's from 7 to 10. He nods, heads to his room. Next morning, 7:15, he storms down. "Breakfast isn't ready. I'm confused." "Sir, it started at 7. He crosses his arms. "You said 7 to 10. "I came at 7:10. It takes me a second." "No, sir. 7 until 10 o'clock. Breakfast is available for 3 hours. His face goes red. "Then you should say 7 through 10. 7 to 10 means you have 10 minutes. I try explaining that's not how we say it here. But he's already walking toward the breakfast room, muttering about unclear communication. I see him later complaining to my manager that our English is confusing. 3 weeks after that, I'm working a different shift when an American college girl, maybe 21, asks where she can find a drugstore nearby. I tell her there's a pharmacy 2 blocks down. She shakes her head. "No, I need a drugstore, like for shampoo and snacks." I explain that pharmacies here sell medicine, and for other things she needs a supermarket or cosmetics shop. She looks annoyed. "So you don't have drugstores? Where do people shop?" I list 3 different stores within walking distance. She seems overwhelmed. This is so complicated. At home, it's all in one place. She ends up ordering shampoo from Amazon instead of walking 5 minutes. That same month, a retired couple from Texas asks me about the castle tour. I mention it's about 2 kilometers away. The wife immediately goes, "How far is that in miles?" I do the math. "About 1.2 miles, the husband frowns. "Why doesn't Europe use miles?" "It's easier," I smile politely. "Most of the world uses kilometers, sir." He shakes his head like I'm wrong. "Well, it should be miles everywhere." They end up taking a taxi because they can't figure out the walking distance. My favorite was the gap year traveler who asked if we had ice for his drink. I brought him a small bucket. He looked offended. "This is it? Can I get more?" I explained that's a standard amount. He actually said, "In America, we get ice for free. Like tons of it." I told him ice is free here too, just not American portions. He filled out a comment card about small ice servings. I still have it somewhere. I drive a taxi in Bangkok. The heat is insane around noon, traffic barely moving near Siam Square. I pick up this American woman, mid-50s, has that tourist look with the big sun hat. She asks me to take her to a restaurant. I tell her most places close between lunch and dinner might not open until 5 p.m. She checks her phone. It's only 2. Why would they be closed? I explain that's normal here. Restaurants close in the afternoon. She doesn't believe me. That doesn't make sense. People need to eat. I drive her anyway. The place is closed, lights off. She makes me wait while she tries the door. Then she asks me to find another restaurant. Same story, closed. She's genuinely shocked. How do people eat lunch? I tell her lunch service ends around 2. She missed it. She argues that 2 p.m. is still lunchtime. I mention she can find something at a mall food court or street vendor. She says she doesn't eat street food. We drive around for 20 minutes before she settles on a hotel restaurant that's open all day. She doesn't tip, but that's another story. 2 months later, I get an American businessman going to a meeting. He booked it for 8 a.m. We're stuck in traffic, and he's panicking. I'm going to be late. This is unacceptable. I tell him everyone expects traffic in Bangkok. Being 15 minutes late is normal. He looks horrified. 15 minutes? That's not late. That's very late. I try explaining Thai time flexibility, but he's not hearing it. He sends 3 emails apologizing in advance. We arrive 12 minutes after 8. His Thai colleagues haven't even arrived yet. They show up at 8:20, totally relaxed. He's baffled. Most channels would stop at the punchline. I dig into the psychology. If that's the kind of clarity you want more of, make sure you're subscribed. This is the stuff no one else tracks. Last week, I picked up a college student heading to the airport. Her flight's at 11 p.m. She asks me to get her there by 6 p.m. 5 hours early. I ask if she's sure. She insists. I always arrive 3 hours early, plus traffic, she explains. I tell her traffic at that hour isn't bad. She doesn't care. We get there at 6:15. She has nearly 5 hours to kill. I see her later sitting alone at a closed gate, looking miserable. Could have spent that time seeing the city. I work at a museum in Amsterdam. Spring morning, tourists everywhere, bicycles flying past the entrance. This American family comes in, mom, dad, 2 kids around 10 and 12. Everything's fine until they try to pay. The dad hands me a credit card. I insert it in the machine, and it asks for a PIN. He looks confused. Just swipe it. I explain we need the PIN for chip cards. He doesn't know his PIN. I never use a PIN. Just run it as credit. I tell him that's not how it works here. He tries 3 different cards. None work without PIN. The mom starts digging for cash, but they only have dollars. I point to the ATM outside. The dad's frustrated now. This is ridiculous. Cards should just work. I mention most countries use chip and PIN. He argues America has chips too, but no PIN required. They end up at the ATM, come back annoyed about the withdrawal fee. The whole thing takes 20 minutes. That afternoon, different story. A student from California tries to buy tickets for 4 friends. I ask for their IDs to confirm the student discount. She shows me hers. I ask for the others. She goes, "They're not here yet. I'm buying for everyone." I explain each person needs to show their own student ID. She thinks I'm being difficult. I have all their birthdays written down. Isn't that enough? I tell her no, they need to be present with ID. She argues this is so inefficient and asks why we can't trust people. I don't make the rules, just enforce them. She buys 1 ticket and complains on Instagram about it. I saw the post. Later that week, a businessman asks where he can smoke. I point to the designated area outside, past the garden. He seems annoyed. I can't smoke inside anywhere? I shake my head. No smoking indoors in the Netherlands. He looks skeptical. What about bars? I tell him same rule, no smoking. He mutters something about freedom and heads outside. 20 minutes later, I see him smoking right outside the entrance, not in the designated area. Security has to redirect him. He acts like nobody told him, even though I literally did. My coworker handled an American couple who wanted to visit on Monday. She informed them we're closed Mondays. The wife asked why. My coworker explained, it's the standard museum closing day in Amsterdam. The husband said, that's dumb. Monday's a regular day. She offered alternative museums open Mondays. He insisted he wanted to visit ours. She repeated, we're closed. This went in circles for 5 minutes. They left a 1-star review online saying we have weird hours. We've been closed Mondays for 30 years. The best one was the retiree who asked about our bathroom. I pointed him to the facilities. He came back confused. There's a person sitting there collecting money. I explained there's a small fee to use the toilet. He looked offended. You charge to use the bathroom? That's illegal. I told him it's normal in Europe. He insisted it violates some human right. I didn't argue. He paid the 50 cents, but complained at the exit that we're nickel and diming tourists. The bathroom attendant heard everything. I wait tables at a restaurant in Buenos Aires. Thursday night, pretty busy. Lots of locals. This American couple sits down, early 30s, honeymoon vibe. They ordered 2 steaks. I ask how they want them cooked. The husband says medium rare. I bring the steaks 25 minutes later. Beautiful cuts, perfectly cooked. He cuts into his and flags me down immediately. This is raw, he says. I look at it. It's textured medium rare, slight pink center. That's medium rare, sir. He shakes his head. This is rare. I said medium rare. I explain Argentine medium rare might be slightly different from American. He insists I take it back. I have the kitchen cook it more. I bring it out. Now it's medium. He takes 1 bite. This is overcooked now. His wife tries calming him down, but he wants it exactly medium rare. I take it back again. 3rd time, the chef's annoyed. It comes out exactly the same as the first time. The husband accepts it, but doesn't seem happy. They don't tip, which makes sense here, but his attitude lingers. Different night, an American student orders a pizza. When it arrives, she looks disappointed. Where are the slices? I'm confused. What do you mean? She points. It's not cut. I explain we don't pre-cut pizzas here. She has a knife and fork right there. She seems bothered by this. Can you cut it in the kitchen? I tell her she can cut it herself at the table. That's normal. She reluctantly agrees but looks embarrassed. She tries cutting it with her knife and fork, but the crust is thin and folds. She ends up eating it with her hands, looking around like someone might judge her. Nobody cares. I had an older American guy order a coffee around 10 p.m. I brought him an espresso. He looked at the tiny cup. Is this a sample? I told him that's a standard coffee. He asked for a regular size. I explained espresso is our regular coffee. He wanted an Americano, didn't know the word. I figured it out eventually and made him one. He still seemed confused why anyone drinks such small coffees. Last month, a family ordered dinner around 6 p.m. They seemed surprised we had so many open tables. The dad joked, "Guess we beat the rush." I smiled politely. Dinner service doesn't really pick up until 9 or 10. The mom looked shocked. You eat dinner at 10? I nodded. That's normal here. She turned to her kids. See? This is why we need to travel. Different cultures. But then she asked if the kitchen could rush their order because they wanted to be back at the hotel by 7:30. I told the chef. He was not pleased. They got their food fast, but it's not how we usually do things. The story I'll never forget happened at a post office in Reykjavik. October afternoon, already getting dark around 3 p.m. I'm working the counter when this American woman, maybe 30, approaches with a box. She wants to mail it to Ohio. I weigh it, calculate shipping. That'll be 8,000 krona. She hands me her credit card. Then she sees the receipt and freezes. Wait, 8,000? I nod. Yes, 8,000 krona. Her eyes go wide. $8,000 to mail a box? I realized the confusion immediately. No, 8,000 Icelandic krona. That's about 58 US dollars. She doesn't look convinced. Are you sure? Because the machine said 8,000. I show her the currency symbol. I pull up a converter on my phone. I walk her through the exchange rate twice. She's still suspicious. This seems like a lot. I explain international shipping from Iceland is expensive because of our location. She asks if there's a cheaper option. I mention sea mail, but it takes 2 months. She doesn't want that. She stands there for a full minute, doing math on her phone, checking multiple currency apps. Finally, she pays. But as she's leaving, she turns back. If this actually charges me $8,000, I'm disputing it. I assure her it won't. She leaves, still looking worried. I later imagine her checking her credit card statement, maybe breathing a sigh of relief when she sees $58 instead of $8,000. Or maybe she still thinks we tried to scam her. Hard to say. These moments remind me that we all carry invisible maps in our heads. Maps of how things should work. What's normal, what's logical. And the moment we cross a border, those maps stop matching reality. It's not about being wrong or right. It's about realizing your map isn't the only one. The stories keep coming. Every shift, every season, someone new arrives, confident they understand how things work. And somewhere, somehow, a tiny assumption breaks down. A temperature scale, a coffee size, a closing time. The world is wide and weird and wonderful. And these stories? They never stop coming.